guys, just about to start videoing and filming for Your Lovely Faces, another episode, to only realise that my tripod just disintegrated in my hands. Now I'm having to go and buy another one, and hopefully it won't be too expensive. So enjoy my journey in style, and I'll see you when I get back to the driveway. Have any of your lovely faces noticed that it's not raining for once? It's a bit sunny, a few clouds like, but you know, got shades on. We might actually get away doing this episode with perfect and extraordinary weather. For anybody that's never been to Ashton-under-Lyne or is an outside watcher outside the ring road of Manchester and 50 miles in a radius, I would just like to highlight Ashton's biggest and most famous ugly landmark, IKEA. I'll just pull in for a beverage, get a coffee. Could I just have a large latte, please? Well, that was a lot more simple compared to the Starbucks on the way to pick up the bits from York the other day. So let's grab my latte and move on to... Are you alright? Right. Just point out, all cars have these little stalks, and what that is an indicator. So if you're on a roundabout and you don't indicate, you are a penis in my eyes. Damn, that is strong without sugar in it. Pulled up. Oh, I've knocked my lights on my knee. Lol, that was a fail. Okay, tripod purchased, 20 quid. Not that bad, to be honest. It looks a lot more sturdier than the one I've got. Hopefully this one won't disintegrate in my hands when I go to wind it up. You know, to do the extension pole. Sat in traffic yet again. That is what a tripod looks like, 20 quid. It even comes with a case. If anyone wants a broken tripod, that one, message me, you can have it, and then that's the new one. Morning and welcome to another episode of the wiring looms. This is part 3. Got some more braiding to put on the car. It's a narrower diameter, it just looked too baggy on the thin cables, and I've also got a wider diameter to go on the main dash loom because I couldn't get it over some of the connections. So first we're going to do that, and then we're going to throw it in the car, and then that will be pretty much the wiring loom in, and we can move on to the other things that are involved in this build, and you're going to love this episode. Right then, Goonies, this is the main dash loom. I've covered as much as I can of it. Maybe I should start by unravelling it first. Now I did all this off camera. Now this bit I've not bothered covering because that's going through the blanking plate, so that'll be difficult the wider it gets. Then for stuff like this, I thought if I cover it in that, which is 25mm diameter, which I forgot to mention last time, it'll look too baggy on that. So I've ordered some 10mm braid, so it looks a bit neater. I've got some more 25 for a few other bits. And then to get over the main stuff like this that can't come off, 32mm diameter. So all in all, it's probably cost me about 25 quid to braid this loom, but it's certainly cheaper than paying the extra 120 from Mini Spares. Now we're going to use the 10mm stuff, which is this, and obviously when it pulls tight it goes nice and small. This we're going to use on stray cables like this because they don't have any big ends to get over. That is what a fully braided do-it-yourself loom looks like. Like I say, this bit here, that's the bit that gets routed through the bulkhead. So I'm not going to braid that because it's difficult enough to get through anyway. I've even done all the ends. Now this goes to the fuse box. 20 quid, yeah, a lot of time, bit of graft, but it pays off. It looks so much neater. First thing we need to do is put the plate on. that blocks between here and here. I'm just going to put it on temporary now, but then when it goes on for good, I'm going to put a bead of silicone round to stop any fumes or smell coming into the car. As always, Anal Tom has had this powder coated black, which you saw in the other video, purely because I can't have any rusty bits going back on the car. So that's going to go on there. The orientation is that. Bolt that on and then we can route the loom in. Beautiful. I think I've figured out how this goes. Easiest way for me to explain this is there's two rubber bungs here. One I believe goes through this hole. The other one I believe goes through a hole down here. So that ends up being stretched like that. They're your connections to your rear loom. These connections are all for your heater switches that go here. Find the end of the loom, poke that through there. So guys, I'm having to resort to looking at a few images because I can't figure out whether the connections from the front loom to the dash loom with the bullet crimps connect behind the bulkhead inside the car or in front in the engine bay. So I'm just going to have a scan at some pictures now and see what we can find. I didn't take the front loom out myself, it was the guy who did the bodywork. So that's where that bung is and it comes down. So there's the bung and there's the other bung. It's split and separated and comes down. The heater switches, all the cables come down underneath, which are those white connectors there, and they get hidden by the heater matrix. That is for the clock setup, so that needs routing across to there, up at the top. Then all this is for your ignition barrel and it gets hidden by that cowling. There's the rear loom coming down, it pops through, and then the bullet crimps out there, so it must get connected on the other side of the bulkhead. I think we've sussed it. We'll head back out there and continue trying to get the whole thing to go in. Good job I checked on the laptop. I did say you'd have to keep looking back. If I'd have took it out, it would have been no problem, but I didn't. So I'm going to make a brew and I'm going to head back out there now. Let's get back on the drive. Now to get the rest of the loop through here, I'm going to have to take some of these crimps apart. Now what I've done is I've took a picture of them so I know what plugs back into what. Now we need to push all the bullet crimps through here. Once you've fed the wiring loom through, we're now going to connect these back up with the correct fuses. Those bullet crimps is where that joins behind here. I think this is the indicator, and it's just a case of literally looking where it best lays out to figure out where it all goes. It is awkward getting it through there, so I recommend taking your time. So if you remember now, both the browns were 15 amps. Blue, if you remember, that was the only one that was 10 amps. So you know the drill if you're following the steps and you're doing this yourself. In my opinion, that now looks better, and obviously if you want to remove it, you can just slide it, twist it and undo it and slide it off to get to the fuses, but that, you know, be hidden up there, which I think looks a lot neater. Again, the dog's barking. That now is your bung there. This one stretches down there. We'll route all them round and then we'll move on to the engine bay and sorting that out. So, you can see it's going in. That routes through there, nice and neat, and we'll drop back down. So now, I need to get this bung in position. That now is your bung there. This one stretches down there. We'll route all them round and then we'll move on to the engine bay and sorting that out. That routes through there, nice and neat. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's now in. Time to get the other bung on. These two go to the ignition. These are all for heater switches. That I believe your reverse light, although my car will not have a reverse light because it's a Mark 1 light setup, and all them will go into your switches, all nice and neatly hidden behind there. This is as simple as a dot-to-dot game. So this is going to connect the rear loom to the front loom to make the back of the car work. Just going to repeat the idea from before. Rather than seeing multiple colours, you just see black. I find it easier with a set of these long nose pliers. So that's the rear loom to front loom connections all covered. So that will get bunched up there with the rest of them plugged in, and then I need to figure out what that does. That is the wiring loom in. We've got the fuse box to go on. I'm waiting for that to turn up, but that is how to neatly wire a classic Mini. So guys, thanks for watching. That wraps up our episode today of the wiring loom part 3. I will do a video of connecting the wiring loom when we get everything in the car and we can see where it goes, and we get the multimeter out and start belling things out to see what becomes live, so we can figure out what goes where. But that'll be explained more in the next video. But in the meantime, ding dong that bell, click subscribe to see more of this beautiful beast and this sexy face, and I will see you the next episode. So goodbye.